When we talk about shifting our old patterns, it's very important that we begin to understand the behavioral dimensions of this. You know, a lot of us have been working in therapy or in our spiritual growth courses for a long time about starting to see some of the deeper beliefs that we hold about ourselves, such as, I'm not wanted, or I'm invisible, or I'm not safe. And yet what we're not really aware of yet are the ways that we're showing up in relationship and the choices that we're making that end up validating the truth of these beliefs. So in other words, if you're a person who kind of notices that you're with narcissistic people all the time and that somehow you always end up being kind of the invisible one who gives yourself away, you don't want to just stay with that as an issue. When it comes to evolving the pattern forward, you want to look at the behavioral dimension of that. Well, how are you creating that? Well, you create it every time you deflect attention away from yourself onto the other person, or you create it when you don't pause to ask yourself what you need and what you feel, and you go right into action, taking care of someone else's feelings and needs, disregarding your own. And so what it means to evolve the patterns of our lives forward into healthier, more adaptive patterns, that really actually would give you what it is that you're desiring, is to not do that next time. To stop and do something unfamiliar, uncomfortable, something that is even a little foreign to you. Somebody's asking on you or pulling on you for something, and you say, well, wait just a second, I need a few minutes to kind of check in with myself and see how I really feel about that. And you just sit with yourself until you understand that better, and then you assert that to the other person. So you have to be willing to be a beginner and learn these new skills and capacities so that you can start to show up differently. Now, the thing that I find when people set an intention to really cause this evolution in themselves, to be able to create a deeper level of love, is that what tends to happen are you bring in very similar people to the past. You attract them in, and that's kind of the universe saying, are you going to do the same thing, or are you going to take the opportunity and do it differently this time? And that's where it really shifts, is when you take the risk of doing it differently. And you might not know how to do it well, and it might be awkward, and you might even mess it up a little bit, and that's got to be okay, because that's what it looks like to grow and evolve.